Yes, sir.
Well-
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, welcome everybody to the City of West Miami's October 27th, 2020 Planning and Zoning Meeting via Zoom. Now members present are Eugenio Gonzalez. Oh, you got your mic, you're mute, but that's okay. I could
All right.
lip read present. Diana Rios,
Hi, I'm here.
present. Okay, myself, Joe Paz, also present, and is Jose Villalobos, City Attorney, and Juan Pena, Planning and Zoning Director and Public Works Director.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Just for the record, I need to read the Zoom instructions. If anybody wants to join the meeting with Zoom, they have to go to https://zoom.us.j/3255236059. The City of West Miami is providing live remote public comments. Persons wishing to submit the live remote public comment will appear live on YouTube during the meeting and will be afforded 3 minutes to speak. You can test your connection by clicking to Zoom and following the link of http://zoom.us.test. Or you could call for phone access to 166, sorry, not that one. 1-301-715-8592 or 1-253-215-8782. When you connect to the machine, they will ask you for a meeting ID, then you dial 325-523-6059, followed by the pound sign. Wait a few minutes until the host administrator accepts you and gives you access to the meeting. Please note that the Governor's DeSantis Executive Order number 2069 suspended the requirements of Section 112.286 Florida statutes by the Florida Sunshine Law, that a quorum to be present in person and that local government bodies meet in a specific public place. The executive order has allowed for government bodies to utilize the communications media technologies such as telephonic and video conferencing for local government body meetings.
Okay, thank you, Juan.
Today,
Mr. Chair,
yes,
we need to swear in the people who are going to testify.
Okay,
Would you raise your right hand and repeat after me, please? I do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I solemnly
I
swear to tell the
the whole
truth and
and nothing but the truth.
okay. On your agenda today, approval of the minutes from 9/22/2020 are not ready, so we'll skip that. And under new business, you have variance agenda item number, supposed to say 1, there's a typo. Property address 1500 Southwest 63rd Avenue, 3C Development LLC. Kaito Alexander Paloma, 1500 Southwest 63rd Avenue. Applicant is requesting a variance to build a 2-story single-family house with a total of 4,741 square feet, where 4,210 square feet are allowed by ordinance. The request is for 531 square feet of the total design of the new home. This property is a corner lot with 10,200 square feet and a larger than normal rear yard. Section 18.8 zoning ordinance 282. And that is in combination with the public hearing agenda item number 2 for a special use permit for planned development at the same property address. The resident, again, providing a 2-story construction of a single family home. Property zone residential, single family, special use permit index 2020-005. Mr. Coloma or Ms. Coloma, either one of you could do your presentation.
tú haces la presentación. Pero yo no sé, él acaba de leer la ordenancia de lo que nosotros estamos proponiendo y tienes que presentar tu caso, que estás pidiendo la ordenancia o lo que sea, porque vas a beautify the city. Bueno, no sé, can he talk in Spanish or he has to talk in English?
As long
Or Cato.
and Cato, because
Basically-
Cato's a son, right, sir?
Cato's my son, he's
Yeah.
part owner. Yes.
Okay, would you care to speak? We would need your name and address for the record.
My name is
before you
Cato
speak.
Paloma.
The
Actually,
address is,
operate.
my address is 1500 Southwest 63rd Avenue in West Miami, Florida. Basically, we're here proposing to build the second floor on the 1500 property. It's gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 6-bedroom, 5-bath home. I don't remember now the exact square footage, but I believe it was just said.
47,
I'm sorry,
47, 41.
4741 square feet, 1,000 square feet. So basically, our intent is just to build a second floor and to raise the value to the city of West Miami. You know, we have a pretty big family, so it's going to be a pretty big house. It is extending a little bit past what the city of West Miami, the ordinance do call for. However, we do feel that it would be a good, I guess, development opportunity for the city of West Miami to, like I said before, increase the value and have a you know, a beautiful home, a second floor home here in our city. We have, you know, we do have a few houses that I believe are second floors, but you know, there's few and far between. And I mean, I don't really know what else to say beyond that.
No, you said it. That's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Pena, I'm a little confused. There's a variance as well, right?
Correct.
Setback?
No, it's not for setback. It exceeds the square footage. The square footage allowed under ordinance is 4210, and the house is 4741. Part of,
Juan, I sent you a message, Juan, a text message.
okay, part of that,
Okay.
part of that, the exceeded square footage is for an open terrace in the back, which is along the back end of the property. And also the entrance of the property has a big, receiving, area for family that comes into the house.
Like a four-year kind of.
Exactly. So the city
Yeah.
has no objection to the house. It actually, the flow of the house works very well with the way they have developed it. As far as what Mr. Cato stated, we classified it as 7-bedroom, 5-bath because the den is considered a bedroom.
Wow. Okay. All right, then this is a public hearing, correct, Juan?
Yes.
Yes.
I have something to say.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to mention that when I did the construction to my home, it was in 2008 when we finished the construction, you guys allowed us to exceed the square footage as well on my home, which is a 2-story home on 14th Street and 63rd Avenue. And we were also told that we were not allowed to enclose the back because we were exceeding the square footage.
The square footage,
And I
okay.
don't know if you've seen my home, but a lot of people did like my home when Mr. Was it McDermott?
Yes.
He loved
Okay,
my
Charlotte.
he loved the construction of my home because I didn't make a mess on the street. We hosed everything down. We had our green fence of the construction. So, you know, we would plan to do the same thing in this property.
Okay, if you don't mind, because on your screen it says United Drafting, I'm assuming that's your business, but if you can state your name and address for the record, please.
Oh, okay. My name is Maria Coloma, and the address is 6326 Southwest 14th Street, West Miami, Florida, 33144.
Okay, thank you. We're practically neighbors. I'm also on 15th Street as well. And I did briefly meet Mr. Cato setting up his Halloween decor the other night. Welcome to West Miami, sir. I'm assuming this is a public hearing, so we're opening up the public hearing at this time. It is 10:10 a.m. If anybody wants to speak further on this item, go right ahead. I'm gonna wait to see if anybody from the public wishes to speak.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
My name is
Name and address.
Teresa Teresa Sharp. I live actually on the property right next door to where this proposed construction is going ahead at 6316 Southwest 15th Street. And we just had a couple of questions, given that it is quite a large construction that's being proposed here.
You go right ahead and ask away.
So, it is big, and it seems like on the west side, which is our adjoining fence side, there's an allowance for 7 or 8 feet, and when the whole double-story structure sort of goes up, it's going to, it's going to be quite imposing on our side. But our primary concern actually is the windows that face south on the second floor. They just are going to overlook our entire backyard. So our concern, I guess, is that we sort of lose, our privacy a little bit here, and I want to know how that gets addressed.
Okay, I'm gonna assume, because I recognize your voice. You know who I am.
Yes, we have met. Yeah, we've met.
You mentioned the south side. It's actually the west side of the proposed second story. That those windows would be the ones that would look
they
into your
adjoin.
yard.
No, because the west side on the second level, there isn't windows, but
No,
the windows that face the backyard that appear on the plans
Okay.
off the on the south side, they do. Like when you're in an elevated, when you're in a 2-story, like you can just see out. So our concern is that high elevation from the second story and those back windows, just it casts right into our backyard. You can definitely see in.
Correct. The west wall only has a bathroom window that faces the west wall.
Yes, one small window. Yeah, which is not a concern. I mean, it's not a concern. The west side isn't. It's just the south side with that, like I said, that ability just to see in our backyard.
Okay. Mr. Pena, I don't think really there's not much we can do there as far as the design. Opaque glass, something, not really, right?
Correct. The requirement to the rear of the property is that there be no balconies facing the rear of the property, which there isn't. Windows are not part of the requirement, and therefore they have met the requirements of the ordinance.
Okay. Anytime there's a second story, there are going to be there are going to be privacy issues and concerns to the adjacent neighbors. We try to mitigate them wherever possible, but we cannot do that in every situation. But Mr. Bennett does meet all aside from the variance for the extra square footage, it does meet all other city regulations, correct? Regarding a 2-story?
Yes.
Okay, does anybody else wish to speak? Anybody from the board members?
I'd like to say something, maybe for that south side, and we could propose something that in the nature of like a mature hedge,
Landscape?
like a tall hedge. I'm sure there's going to be a fence in there. I don't think I see it in the site plan, but I'm sure there's going to be some sort of a fence, or there is maybe a fence there now. Maybe some tall landscaping, something, I guess is this side. I only see 2 existing palm trees and I don't see any fences on the site plan. So maybe a fence and some additional hedge to add, to add height to that fence.
Right.
Fence is allowed to be 6 feet high. Maybe the hedge could be grown a little taller, and that maybe helps Teresa on her concerns. I mean, I don't know that the tree can grow so far up, but
Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe bamboo, areca, something, anything that
But
provides a little privacy. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I was just going to address Teresa as well. For your concerns, we're not opposed. I myself am not opposed. I would definitely have to discuss it with Maria and Fernando, but my father, where they're at right now, that he owns a metal shop. So I'm sure that we can do something to accommodate you where we can block some view if it's okay with them. I mean, I'd have to run it by them, but it would be something where we can do kind of like a louver or something, some decorative form of louver where, you know, it'll obscure the window view into your property from the top floor, which is what I believe is your main concern. It's something that maybe we can discuss, and if it's, you know, it's not, you know, out of the budget, then I think it's something that we can probably, you know, work on and to kind of, you know, ease that up a little bit on your end, where
Right.
your privacy isn't going to be, you know, imposed as how you feel.
Right. And I mean, there is an existing fence on the property.
Right.
I guess it must be about 7 or 8 feet high, I imagine. And we are landscaping on our side with, you know, that obviously things take time to grow.
Right. Right.
But it's not, you know, we don't want to be difficult. We just, you know, we only bought the property a couple of years ago. We bought it, you know, because of the nature of West Miami, you know, and it's such a big building that we're just concerned that, you know, we're going to lose a little bit of one of the reasons that we even, you know, bought into the city in the first place was just that we had a little bit of space for ourselves. I did, if I may, I had just a couple of other little questions. Is there a demolition to the existing property there? It will be demolished, I imagine.
It's going to have to be completely torn
completely
down
demolished.
for structural.
And I know it's Miami, so that this question is a little bit open-ended, but is there an estimate on the timeline? How long would it take once approved? How long would it take from beginning to end in terms of, you know, having construction on the neighboring property? How long would that be?
Well,
Go ahead.
okay, well, in my case, in my home that I did, which you should be able to see from across the street from your house. I'm the second.
I know the house. Yep.
Well, that one took 1.5 years. We had no, all of our inspections passed. We didn't have any that were negated. So it took 1.5 years to do it. So that's what we're estimating, 1.5 years to 2.
Roughly. Okay.
That's from complete, right, start to finish. So basically, I guess the heavy construction is going to be, you know, very early on. So it might not even be 1.5 years. I mean, depending on if everything gets approved, you know, and the inspections, you know, have no issues. Because, you know, the half, you know, the 1.5 years, the half part of that would be just like the finishing touches. It's not going to be, you know, crazy construction where you're going to hear like the drilling and the noise and all that. So it's, if that's also what you had in mind.
If I may say something, so basically your intent, if approved, is to get on it and proceed with the construction.
Yeah, we don't want to waste time.
Time is money, and now things are a little faster now with COVID. There's less traffic for the material delivery. It's a big snowball effect that it has caused in the construction business. It actually has been a boon. If you talk to contractors, getting jobs are hard, but once you got a job, it's really fast because a lot of people are dying to get back to work and are willing to work. Material deliveries are like half the time or even less than what it was during COVID, where you got traffic, pre-COVID traffic and all that. So from what I've seen in some of the homes here, 2-story homes being built, I'm sure you've all run across them closer towards 67th Avenue area. They've all been built really fast, including one on 16th Street and 63rd, 64th.
Yeah.
Really fast.
That one came up
so
overnight.
That's a plus because it does. I mean, construction is it's a nuisance. We all agree to that, and the quicker it can be done, the better. So, any other comments, Ms. Teresa, or anybody from the board?
Just one, and then I'll mute. You may have already said it, and I might have missed it. The home is to be then resold, or it's for you to occupy, Gato?
Right now we're thinking of staying here, but it all depends. We may or may not sell it later on, but right now it's for my girlfriend and I and our family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a last little comment. Teresa, you're gonna be happy when you get rid of that sore eye, because that house is ugly. So,
It's falling apart. Ever since I moved here, the front door hinge broke, and I'm like, I've only spent money on the light bulbs. I couldn't see anything when I first walked in here.
a haunted house.
Remember, you guys are neighbors, so let's all get along and be
Yeah,
neighborly and
Teresa's good.
and do everything you
She had
can.
valid questions.
Hello, please, one
Hi.
at a time. One at a time, please, because we need to make a record, okay?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Villalobos. If I can get the floor. We still have to discuss further and approved or disapproved, but if approved, you are neighbors and we're all one small community here. Whatever you do in your property affects us all, and especially Mr. Risa, which is the most affected. Whatever you can do regarding minimizing noise, dust, etc., please do so, assuming it's approved. And also what you mentioned about the louvers or trying to provide or afford a little more privacy along that side of the property for your neighbors. That being said, any comments? I'm going to go ahead and, unless somebody else wants to speak from the public, I'm going to close the public hearing.
Anybody else from the public?
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to say something.
Sure, name and address for the record, please.
My name is Andres Rodriguez. Not too long at City of Miami, only 20 years, but my address is 1525 Southwest 63rd Avenue. So I'm diagonally from the property across 63rd Avenue. I say hello to everybody that I know on the screen here. But
I recognize the voice. I know who's talking. I don't see you on the maybe.
No. I'm like George Costanza. Anyways,
okay. But I recognize the voice.
I took a look at the plans online yesterday real quick, and I just wanted to, I took down some notes, and I'm just going to read my notes if you don't mind.
Sure, go right ahead.
So I have some concerns. The address of the house is 1500 Southwest 63rd Avenue, which suggests that the house should be facing east or the avenue, as the existing house does. The proposed floor plan that I saw shows the front door of the new house facing north towards 15th Street, which is the side of the house that faces, which places the side of the house facing the avenue. To me, this is not in keeping with the nature of the orientation of all of the houses facing 63rd Avenue from 16th Street heading north. That part of the neighborhood, for the most part, the houses face the avenue. Furthermore, the garage doors and the driveway have been placed on the east side facing the avenue. So the side, what is the side of the house, which is not the most appealing elevation, would be facing the avenue. To me, it's an architectural gesture equivalent to turning your face on your neighbor. In practical terms, I think that placing the garage doors facing north would make for a better garage, because it will keep the garage cool and would not be subject to the heat gain of the morning sun. Additionally, if someone were making a delivery or looking for the address and they come to 1500, there's no front door, it would be difficult for somebody to find this house, using an app or, finding the address. I think that the architect and the owners should take this into consideration and hopefully redesign the house so that the front of the house faces 63rd Avenue and the garage door faces this 15th Street. In my opinion, I think that would make for a more appealing home, and probably would resell better in the future if you thought about selling it, because it would give you this more of a grand appearance of a house. So I urge the staff to reconsider their approval of this project. And those are my comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions, and I'll be happy to even help with a redesign. I'm an architect myself, so.
All right, thank you, sir. I would disagree. I mean, I appreciate what you said, and coming from an architectural, from an architect, obviously it's well thought and everything. I would disagree though with you as far as not being able to find the address and whatnot, or the orientation. And I believe it's really would be a very big hardship for the owners now to redesign everything. It's just that'll really, I mean, just, I don't know. I'm not even going to go there. I don't know what the other members feel about that. I do appreciate the comments, though, coming from an architect, especially.
Actually, Mr. Chair, the property, once it's completed or near completion, we will send a letter to the post office changing its address from the 1500 side to the 63rd Avenue side as a 6300, like it states on the plan,
Okay.
address for Southwest 15th Street. As far as the garage, with the doors on the 63rd Avenue side, they're further away from the intersection, and it gives them a more ample.
Safer. It's safer for everybody, I believe.
Exactly. So.
And it's the avenue's wider than the street, I believe. So
Correct.
for
So that is
maneuvering.
That is why we went ahead and approved it, because it actually meets code.
Thank you, Mr. Pena. That being said, anybody else from the public which wish to speak on this item? And I don't hear a response from the audience, from the public. So the public hearing on this agenda item is now closed. It is 10:27 a.m. Does any board member have any other comments that they may wish to add?
I have a question on the louvers that Kaito mentioned a little while ago. The louvers towards the backside. Where would you consider placing these louvers?
It's something that we have to discuss. We have to really just look at the plans. I mean, I don't have them in front of me, but if I have if Maria and Fernando agree, it's something where maybe we can put on the side of the wall, just so we can block our view into Teresa's property. Would be on the right south, the south side on the right-hand side, the back of the property.
Okay,
For the
but
second.
That is not, these are not like self-standing louvers that go on the edge of the roof below.
Well, I mean,
You know,
I don't
in
really,
terms of enclosing, like when you said louvers, I imagine metal louvers. I imagine it would be something that would be on the outside, on the exterior edge of that
correct.
area. But that
That's
is
what
what you're proposing, correct?
that's an idea that I have. I think Maria wants to mention.
Okay, that's an
You wanna-
idea that would probably not fly, because I would consider that to be then enclosed space. Even if the
Okay.
louvers are removable, I think that would increase further your
Enclosed area.
Oh, really?
right.
No.
Or something that could be done on the wall, like you mentioned, some slider, something,
Mhm.
I don't know what, but
Yeah, it's to really just try to accommodate her and her concerns, because I don't want to, I understand that she feels her privacy is going to be, invaded. And I don't want her to feel that way. I don't want anybody to feel that their privacy, is not being taken into consideration. So it's just me proposing an idea of how we can probably accommodate her. Because like you guys mentioned, like Jose mentioned, we are, sorry. Oh, what'd you do here? We are a small community, and I don't want anyone to feel left out, like they're not being heard. But it's something that we would have to discuss with Maria and Fernando, as well as the architect, and see what we can do in order to accommodate her as well.
Okay.
so that roof is not flat. Okay, I see. That was my concern, and I didn't realize that roof is not flat, my bad. I was imagining that you were really enclosing that and that was a flat roof, but it's not. Now I
Right.
see it. I see it in the elevation. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Another question, do you have any plans for pools, pool decks?
As of right now, we don't have any plans for a pool. It's something that I did mention that we brought up, but right now I don't really go in the pool at their house, so it's not really necessary, I guess, for me to have a pool.
Okay, well, maybe not for you, but maybe for the future owners. And since you're starting from scratch, I feel that a variance is unwarranted, even though I like the house and everything that you're doing to the neighborhood. I do believe that if we do approve this variance, that maybe no further variances would be allowed for pool deck or for pool or for an accessory structure where you have, you know, barbecue grill or whatever. So that the only variance on this lot would be the additional square footage. Okay, another question is more like a technical question, more for Juan. Juan, when you calculate the square footage, you calculating those two areas, the one at the foyer that is covered and enclosed on the two sides, and the area at the back, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Yes, is that Mr. Gonzalez? Okay. Juan, I now on my screen, all I see is the elevation.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
there you go. There you go.
We're back.
I feel more comfortable this way. Whoa, what happened there? I got it facing.
Just
the
want to make
wrong
sure
way.
everybody saw the elevation.
Hold on. All right, thank you very much, Ms. Rio. That is a good thing you brought up as far as
Yep.
the only variance allowed, so that in the future, I mean, I agree with that. So nobody can come back and seek a setback variance to put the pool closer to a property line or a larger pool deck or something. Does anybody else have any comments, Mr. Gonzalez?
Oh, no comment. That's just all right.
Although we discussed the possibility of a pool, there is still an additional 44 feet of rear yard. So this is a very large property. It doesn't need that. I don't see it needing another variance for a pool or anything.
Okay, Mr. Villalobos, if we were to make a motion, can we place that in the motion? The fact that no further variances, would that be a legal thing to do?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay, there's no other questions. Mrs. Rio, would somebody care to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve with the conditions stated on the staff report and the additional conditions of a mature hedge to be planted on the south side all along the rear property line. That no further variances would be allowed on the parcel, and that if there's going to be louvers, you know, it's something that maybe this is not part of the motion, but the louvers should be something that it's not too outrageous, too something
Okay.
that's elaborate or anything, because the house in itself is very simple, very linear, very pretty, doesn't need any, I don't even know how to word
I
it.
understand. I understand what
Makeup
you're trying.
on that face.
Yeah.
But can I say something real quick, Diana? In reference to if you're asking us to plant the higher hedges, then we would not need for the louvers. I would have said that the louvers would have covered maybe windows or that are facing her property, just to avoid us to look over or whatever, okay? But now you're asking us again now to do higher hedges. That's gonna be a little bit costly for us as well, because you're gonna have to put
I think
all
she
of
said hedges on the south side, not on the west side. I think I heard her say the south side, not the west,
Yeah, I heard the south
which
side
wouldn't
also.
be our side. I believe she's
Right, it
talking
would have
about
to be-
the back of the property where the easement is.
okay.
Brought up, which is
It's
on the south side.
Right,
Okay,
Teresa mentioned south side.
Teresa's on the south side, correct? Yeah,
On the west side
No,
of the
no,
property.
West
I'm on the
side.
west side.
Right.
West
I'm on the
side.
west side. Yeah, the south
Yes.
side is the back of the property that backs up to the little laneway easement. That's the
Right. She's
south
just
side.
concerned about the windows on the
I'm-
south side of the
the
house.
south windows. Yeah.
But you're gonna
Mhm.
be able to see it, her property on the west side.
Correct.
Right.
I think we're getting semantics, but it is the side of the property that overlooks or faces Teresa's property, which I'm gonna refer to it as the west wall,
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
if you will. The south would be facing 16th Street, in my
Correct.
opinion, would be the 16th Street side. And north would be facing 15th Street and the two-story house on 14th Street. Ms. Rio, can you restate the motion though, so that we're clear on the record, since we were kind of somewhat interrupted?
Okay, so let's start all over again.
Okay.
Thank you.
I move to approve with the conditions as stated on the staff report and an additional hedge on, but maybe the hedge doesn't have to be mature at planting time. An additional hedge on that side, and then no further variances to be allowed for this parcel.
Okay.
Okay.
I would second that motion. I can second the motion, right, Mr. Villalobos?
No, sir.
No,
I
sir?
second- No, I will second the motion.
Mr.
Okay, I take my second, I would refer it to Mr. Gonzalez. So there was a motion and a second. On the motion, Mrs. Rio,
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes.
and I vote yes, so it's been approved.
It's been recommended for approval to the city commission
Correct,
with conditions.
with the conditions.
For the-
That will be on the second meeting in November, which should be November 18th.
Okay, and hopefully Ms. Teresa heard that, should she wish to go speak, or I guess it would be via Zoom again, but she can also attend that meeting as well.
Thank you. Yes, I heard. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we all need to wait to see what the governor does at the beginning of the month regarding extending Zoom meetings or live meetings. At that point, that's why we're putting it for the second week in November in order to have proper advertising.
Okay, great.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Next item, Mr. Penna?
Back to the agenda. Where are we? Next item is public hearing, agenda item number 3. Property address is 6240 Southwest 8th Street. Ernest Tattoo and Supplier Corporation. Applicant requests a special use permit for a commercial use as a tattoo and supplier to provide tattoos and supplies for same during regular business hours. Section 431, zoning ordinance 282.
All right, guys, I just want to thank everyone. I'm gonna log out of here.
Go
Joe,
right
Juan,
ahead, sir.
Eugenio, thank you so much. Diana, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Go
Thank
work.
you, everybody. We'll be signing off too. Thank you so much.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, I'm a little confused, Mr. Penna. Isn't there a tattoo shop there now currently at that location?
There is an existing tattoo shop. This is for a second tattoo shop.
Okay, and what would a variance be required?
Because the tattoo, no, not a variance, a special use permit.
Oh, especially, I'm sorry.
Special use permit is required for any use that's not in the allowed uses under zoning ordinance 282.
And this would be just to allow storage of materials? or
Well, I believe the applicant is requesting for a tattoo shop for them, plus supplying product to other
others in the same business?
Correct.
In the same business, okay. And would somebody wish to speak on this matter?
Yeah, I believe Mr. Ernesto is there for you to hear.
Yes, good morning to everybody. It's a real nice meeting you. My name is Ernesto. My address is 14909 Southwest 80th Street, Miami, Florida 33193. What I intend to do is to make a family business with my son. My son is an artist. He studied paint in Cuba at a school artist there, School of Arts, and he's really good doing this. And what I intend to do is to create a business for the family, but mainly for him to get his business. When we start trying to do the contract, the owner says that the other tattoo shop is leaving. That's why I got the contract. But as I see now, they're not leaving. They're still there. I don't know exactly. But with this business, we're trying also to get some development for the city, and there's more money for the city as well, because it's a business that is a very earnest business, as it's named. It's serious. We're respectful people, and we try to do our best with this business.
Okay, Mr. Pena, could you help me along, or maybe us along? This is not the business that's currently there or at that location. This is going to be another one.
Yes, the current business that, like the gentleman stated, the current business 6240 was planning on leaving. However, they haven't left. But Mr. Ernest doesn't want to wait till that, whatever issue is working between that tenant and the owner works out. But in order for him to be able to open up his own business, he needs to have a special use permit.
Okay, and it would be at the same shopping center then?
That's correct.
Center.
That's
It was
correct.
just down the street. Okay.
What I understand, the first tattoo shop has moved to a second floor unit.
I see.
Okay.
All right. I mean, this is a legal law, business allowed in West Miami, correct, Mr. Pena?
It's not one of the allowed uses. That it's only allowed under conditions set by us. As you can see from the memorandum I've issued on it, and as long as the property has capable or enough parking for all the businesses that are there, and it's consistent with what's been there in the past.
Okay, I'm just gotten a little skittish lately with that incident we had the other night here. And now I hear businesses, I mean, not to demean or talk bad, you're a reputable business, no doubt about it. There's nothing wrong with what you do for a living. But I've driven by your competitor, or I guess, or the people that are there in the past. It's been a long time that I drive by there or noticed this. But I used to see a lot of people hanging out, socializing, like at 8, 9, 10 at night, out in the parking lot, which I guess that's fine. I'm not aware of any issues that emanated from that. I'm sure police department are, on top of things. But every time I hear something like this, especially with last week's incident we had on 67th and 20th Street, I get a little apprehensive. But that being said, Mr. Pena, they do comply with all the requirements then, correct? From the
Correct.
city.
And in order to address what you just stated, the loitering in the around the parking lot areas, we have put that as a condition to the thing. So this would have to be, because of social distancing, the applicant would have to have some type of appointment schedule for patrons that are going to visit the establishment.
Okay.
Can I speak? Sorry.
Yes.
I read the conditions that Mr. Pena wrote, and we agree with these conditions. Anyway, we work by appointments, not with a lot of people in there. And we're very careful with our clients. We're selective as well. It's essentially our clients are sport people, decent people, we're very careful with this, and we agree with what Mr. Pena says.
Okay, is this a public hearing, Mr. Pena?
Yes, it is.
So I should open it up. The public hearing is now open. It is 10:45. Should anybody from the public wish to speak? Name and address for the record, please.
Yes. Hello, my name is Javier Betancourt. I am the owner of Ocho Placas Tattoo Company and also the owner of White Rose Coffee that were both in the same shopping center. Ocho Placas Tattoo Company has been there for 20 years in that same shopping center. When COVID started, I went into renegotiations with my landlord, and in turn, we temporarily, since the social distancing we went into like private by appointment only, working from the upstairs only, while he was supposed to repair the downstairs. In that time, we were going to renegotiate lease. One thing led to another. You know, COVID went longer than anybody thought, really. But in that time, there was another lease signed in the downstairs location to another tattoo shop, which is Ernest. So I'm here really to kind of address it in the sense that, you know, I took a lot of pride being the only tattoo shop out of West Miami for a very long time. We have a great reputation. You know, we've been featured in Vogue, New York Times. Like, we are a destination shop in the world. And that being said, we kind of wanted to keep it that way in the sense that we are, and we've always said we are the only shop in West Miami. Because it's such a small municipality, I would think it would be in the best interest of the city to keep it that way. Because there's so many businesses of the same type in the city. And I know that you guys have addressed that in the past, where you're trying to limit the amount of businesses of the same type in the small city. So I just wanted to come here and kind of like state my case in the sense that, you know, I've always been very proud to grow the city. I grew up in the city. You know, I would go to summer camp, South Sylvania Heights. Like, it's always been a big part of my life. So I don't know. I'm just trying to keep my business and move forward comfortably.
Okay, thank you for those thoughts. And 20 years, that's a long time. I don't think we can do anything regarding like competition or allowing similar business. Mr. Villalobos can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think those items are for us to address here in this board. Am I correct, Mr. Pena? Regarding competition and the number of the same type of businesses that are allowed, we really can't control that. Correct?
That's correct.
But thank you for your comments. I did not know your business was so long established. I know it's been there for a long time, and don't get me wrong, when I mentioned earlier about people I hang out all the time in places where I go. So, you know, I just threw that out there, but I had nothing against your business or your clientele hanging out there. I mean, I hang out all over the place myself. All right, so don't hold that against me.
Well, I was going to add that he does had the White Rose coffee shop, and that's why most of the clients that you saw outside where the establishment was, because when they were not ready for them in the shop, they would actually go to the White Rose to drink coffee and pastries and stuff like that.
And, you know, I'm going to start doing that myself. I'm running out of places to go get coffee, and I'm going to start patronizing the business. Does anybody else from the public wish to speak on this item?
There, just for the record, there is a sketch of the interior of the shop where it shows a seating area for roughly 4 or 5 patrons, and then 2 workstations.
Okay. All right, since nobody from the public wished to speak on this item, I'm going to close the public hearing. It is 10:50 a.m. Does anybody have a comment? Anybody from the board?
Yeah, I just wanted to make one last statement in regards to both businesses being in the same shopping center.
Okay.
If that's something to be addressed when it comes to like biohazardous waste, because now there will be 3 businesses in that shopping center that produce biohazardous waste. I don't know if that's something to take into consideration, and if that many licenses are allowed to be issued from the county.
Okay, I cannot answer that question myself.
The county only issues tax licenses. They don't issue occupational licenses. We do.
No. It's not about the occupational license. It's about the biohazardous waste production license.
I understand that. And that will be something that Mr. Ernest will have to deal with Durham on his review once it gets to the point where he is able to process an application for the actual shop.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Sorry,
com-
Mr. Paz.
Go ahead.
Biohazard waste. I already have a contract with a company that takes care of this, and it doesn't matter. I'm by the way, I'm nurse practitioner. I know
I
something.
was gonna say, you look like you're a doctor or a nurse from what you wear.
I'm doctor from Cuba, and here I'm nurse practitioner, and at this moment I'm the supervisor of stem cells processing lab at Miami Cancer Institute. That's my full-time job. I'm doing this mainly for my family and for my son. That's the reason. And as I say, biohazard waste is not a big deal if it is well done. It doesn't matter. You can take some what you need as long as you do the right thing with the biohazard waste.
Correct. And that's regulated by Durham,
By
and
Durham.
the application will go to Durham for their approval. Right now, they're not doing any site visits, or they can't go to Durham, but they need to apply online to get approval for the use.
Okay, thank you, Ernest. Any comments from the board?
I have questions on the floor plan.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm looking at I guess at the entrance, which is that triangular section,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
so I assume the oval right next to the triangle means like a reception kind of area?
Mr. Ernest?
Yes, it's only the reception.
The reception, and what are the 3 X's behind that?
No, this
File
there's-
cabinets?
yeah, no, there is no space in there. It's only the entrance, but there's nothing in there.
Right, but where the X's are shown, would that be display area for merchandise?
Maybe in real time, what we intend to do is to do the supplier stuff online more than in the place.
So
But
that-
the corporation is a full thing, you know. But we're trying to do online the delivery of the supplies.
so the X's would be just the back wall of the reception area.
Yes, there's the entrance and the reception, and the two spots, working areas,
Okay.
and four seats
For seating.
with the distances of 6 feet.
Okay.
Between.
Okay,
Okay, the cross-hatched area is a wall, I suppose, the long cross across from the entrance.
Yes. There's a wall.
Okay.
like a little privacy partition.
Okay,
Yes.
and then the 4 seats are for people waiting or for,
Yeah, no. It's for sometimes when someone comes to make a tattoo, they're a little afraid or whatever, and they come with a company, husband, wife, whatever, and
Right.
this person can stay in there, because as I said before, what intend to do or what we do is schedule appointments.
Okay.
We won't have a lot of people in there.
okay. What are you planning on doing on the exterior? I know that you're not applying for signage at this time, but what is your intention for is this a glass? The door is glass, I suppose, and then there's another piece of glass next to it?
Yes, it's the piece of glass what we're going to use. The signs, we're going to put it in the piece of glass at the entrance.
The shopping center has an open permit for the existing, pylon sign that's on the exterior of the property and also for each individual unit. Any other subsequent sign to the windows needs to come back before the zoning board.
Including like a wrap type signage on the glass?
Any kind of signage.
And the
Any
sign,
kind of signage. And can that piece of glass be obscured, like, be tinted or with a
It
curtain?
can be, or it could have a sign that allows you to not see out, but you could, you could see out, but you can't see in.
okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, then any further comments or questions from the board?
No. Okay.
Nope.
No, yeah, I do have a couple more comments. Do we restrict the hours of operations on this type of application under special use?
The hours of operation have been placed on the condition as 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Oh, okay. So those are already part of the special use.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And what about music? Like any outdoor music?
No music is allowed, no loud conversations outside of the building or in parking
Outside of-
areas.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you for that, Mrs. Rios. And any further questions, Mr. Gonzalez?
Oh, ready to take action.
Go right ahead, sir.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm waiting for you.
Would that be a motion? You want to make a
Okay,
motion?
I'd like to make a motion.
Yeah, okay, Mrs. Rio, go right ahead.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve this case with the conditions as stated on the staff report and the added condition that they only see people by appointment only. And that's it.
Would that be during COVID only or for like forever or?
No, by appointment only, as far as what I'm recommending as the approval would be forever, not just under COVID.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't
I
think
second
that,
the motion.
all right, on the motion, Mrs. Rios,
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes.
and I vote yes, so it's been approved per the motion.
Recommended for approval to the city commission, which that will be on November 18th.
Okay,
I want to thank you, all of you. I'm really grateful for your approval. Thank you so much.
thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, that's the last item on your agenda today.
All right, so then that's it then. Well, thank you everybody for joining the meeting. I'm going to say before I close, I want to offer or express my condolences, and I'm sure everybody that knows him for our commissioner, and esteemed resident of West Miami, Mr. Luciano Suarez, that lost his beautiful wife recently. We want to express, I want to express, and the community wants to express our condolences. He's a great man, done a lot of great things for the city, and I wish him the very best. With that being said, our commission meeting, the City of West Miami Planning and Zoning Board meeting of October 27 is now adjourned. It is 11 a.m. for the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
for your time.
Bye-bye.
All
Thank you.
right. Bye, Juan. Bye, everybody.
Good day.
Bye.
Have a good day.